Well, welcome back, everyone. You know, this is Lights, Camera, Action. It's Make Our World Your Runway, the weekly show that interviews the most fascinating individuals from the world of modeling, pageantry, business, beauty, fashion, and even the entertainment industry. And today we're going to encompass a little bit of both. We're going to do something in the entertainment, business, and even in the world of beauty. But of course, before we start the show, we always want to thank the sponsors that do make this show so possible. And that happens to be 𝐷𝐿 Architect, Lux Salon, Margaritaville at Sea, 100 Successful Women in Business, the Global Trade Chamber, Transmedia Group, the Bangladesh American Chamber of Commerce, Vita Designs, and of course, SB Fashion Direct. Once again, sponsors, thank you so much for making this weekly show possible. And of course, we want to remind all our viewers out there to subscribe to the Global Trade Chamber YouTube channel, so that you can see all the shows from Make Our World Your Runway and, of course, Success Stories. Now, I highly recommend Success Stories because this show does feature the most amazing women in the world of business and community service. From their humble beginnings to successful entrepreneurs, these women will totally inspire you. So once again, remember to subscribe to the Global Trade Chamber YouTube channel so that you can see all the shows from Make Our World Your Runway and, of course, Success Stories. And always we have exciting news because we want to tell you to get ready for some exciting conferences, speakers, and awards as 100 Successful Women in Business and the Global Trade Chamber are going to come to a city near you. Now, the first city we're coming to is going to be next Saturday, January the 25th. It's going to be at the Embassy Suites Hotel in Boca Raton. It's a free event. You must register to go to the event, but there's still time to become a speaker and an exhibitor. Now, at this event, there's going to be networking, conferences, business expo, fashion show, and I am going to be speaking at that event because I am going to show individuals and companies how to have your own show, how to gain exposure so that you can get more business from being on camera every week. And of course, we have a big international show coming up April 4th, which is going to be at the DoubleTree Hotel in Miami. You definitely want to sign up now for this event. They're always a sellout. Again, you've got some networking, conferences, business expo, a fashion show, and Make Our World Your Runway always goes live at every one of these shows. Now, to register, you must go to the website at www.100swb.com for all the information. There you can register for free. If you want to be a speaker or an exhibitor, there's also information there. Sign up. These are events you do not want to miss. There's not only women that come in locally, but from around the country and even from around the world. So again, exciting events coming up. If you really want to expand your business, I highly recommend that you do attend these events. Trust me, you won't regret it. And as always, we want to start our show, and like I say, lights, camera, action. It's Make Our World Your Runway. And today, I have really a phenomenal guest. She's got over 15 years in leadership roles, and she's currently the executive director at the prestigious and award-winning Tower Club in Fort Lauderdale. Ladies and gentlemen, I had the distinct pleasure of joining that club, and we're going to tell you all about it. So without further ado, let me introduce to you the great Kelly. Kelly, say your right name your last name so I don't mess that up.
Kelly Desroches.
Kelly, welcome to Make Our World Your Runway.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you've had 15 years in leadership roles. So tell us what all those leadership roles were.
Sure. So I am originally from Connecticut, from a political family that wins. My uncle was the mayor for 7 years. His father was the state representative of Connecticut. And right out of high school, I was in the mortgage world. So mortgage loan origination for about 12 years. But since I was 13, I've always worked. I always had a job and always was in the workforce. And then the mortgage world brought me to Fort Lauderdale because I was done with the snow, to be honest with you. Like, I was like, I just want to be on the beach. So I moved to Fort Lauderdale and maintained my mortgage license in Florida and Connecticut, and I was doing that. And I created a lot of relationships within the community of Fort Lauderdale. And then that's how I became in the position that I am now with the Tower Club. They actually reached out to me. I never really applied. Because the members of the Tower Club, they're all, C-suite. As we had a, member event for you and
right.
Miss International World, which was amazing. So you got to meet a couple of the members, and then orientation as well. I know there was like 33 of you for that.
Oh my God.
There's a lot in different industries, so you got to meet them, which was awesome. But so I knew a lot of the members, so they actually said to the GM, you should call Kelly. So he calls me and invited me in and told me about the Tower Club. I had no idea what it was. And then I accepted the job. I was doing my mortgage thing and the director at the Tower Club. And then within that, I created my own relationships in the club. And that's how I met Christine Curran.
Yes, Christine Curran.
Yeah.
Amazing lady.
With the Dining Divas.
Dining Divas. I was just going to mention that. Yep, Dining Divas. That name all of a sudden is all over the place. Dining.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Destination Divas. So, and yeah,
Yes.
it's growing immensely within the last 2 years now. So we have a Destination Divas, Dining Divas TV. Fort Lauderdale is where it started.
Right.
LA, New York, and then Texas.
Texas, she's
Yeah.
from the Bahamas. We had her on the show. In fact, the other day it was kind of late notice, but she called me up. She says, "Hey, I need one of your girls as a judge." And I said, "I've got the best one for you." I said, "Willina Rodriguez." She was our supermodel a couple of years ago. I said, "Of all the girls I have," I said, "she'd be perfect for that." When they said it's the bikini chef, I said, "She's a top model right now." Okay, and she's modeled pretty much all over the states. She's also the official spokesmodel for Curls Poplin out in California. In fact, even Miss Universe last year wanted to bring her in as a coach.
Oh, nice.
Okay, we've had her on billboards in New York City, like 200 feet high. Anytime Supermodels Unlimited magazine does a show in New York, they call her in to be the coach. So when Christine said last minute, I said, "She's perfect," and sure enough, we got her. We got her to go there and be a judge. So. But Christine is great, you know.
Oh, I love her. She's so amazing. And she's all about women empowerment.
Yes,
so,
she is.
yeah, she actually brought me on. She's like, "I want you to be on the show. You have that TV personality. You're perfect for it." And it's, you know, and I do have a lot of connections within the community of Fort Lauderdale. So I always introduce her to everybody I know, and then we can collaborate. The other day, it was like 2 days ago, we were at the Tower Club, and we met with the founder of 𝐿𝐸𝐵𝐷IA and FUBU. And then, so now they're on our board for the Dining Divas TV, which is awesome. But they use the Tower Club for the business meeting. So we set it up perfectly, like we have the best ambiance, service, and we set it up great for success, you know, for all of our members. So it worked out good.
Yeah, and it's great. In fact, the other night when we were at the Tower Club for my event, we were looking outside the window, and my husband said to me, "So what does this remind you of?" New York City.
Yeah.
He worked in New York City for 30 years. I worked there for 27 years. And even when you go outside now in Fort Lauderdale, and I brought this up to Mayor Trantellis, I think since Dean has been mayor, I've seen a transformation.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, in Fort Lauderdale. I mean, going outside his office the other day, I'm noticing like 3 hotels, 3 brand new hotels. And I said, "Wait a minute. These are hotels I dealt with. I said in New York City." And even when you walk outside or you walk down Las Olas, I swear I'm back in New York City, okay? A lot of times on a Saturday night, I was telling Mayor Trantellis, my husband and I will come here, just walk Las Olas, because he gets that vibe, that energy, that he's back in New York. And the Tower Club with the members, a lot of people don't remember this, the Rainbow Room in New York. Everybody thought it was just a restaurant. No, they actually had a club that you could belong to. And very similar to what the Tower Club is doing, okay?
Yeah.
And the Rainbow Room was great because me working for 𝐿𝐸𝐿, and when I became the trainer, we used to do a lot of our events there. And we used to bring clients up there, and everybody loved it because when you're in the Rainbow Room and you're up on that 30-some-odd floor, you're overlooking New York City, and it could be 20 degrees outside, but you forget about it because look at what you're looking at.
Right.
Okay?
The beautiful views and all the like-minded individuals of that city. So that's exactly what the Tower Club is doing, bringing people together, connecting, and elevating everyone's business. It's a great thing.
Yeah, it is. It's elevating everybody. And you know what? Fort Lauderdale needed something like that.
Right.
You know, I don't even think we have anything. I'm in the Palm Beach County. I don't even think we have anything like that in Palm Beach.
We used to, it closed down. So we had Brickell in Miami, we had Palm Beach, we had West Palm. All of those. So Tower Club Fort Lauderdale is the only one in South Florida that what we do, you know?
I wonder why it's so successful.
I know, right?
Because it's right in the heart of everything, you know? And when you're looking out, you can, I mean, and one of the things that I saw was that when you look out, you see all the cruise ships, but you can almost see well into Miami.
Right. No, yeah. On a clear day, you can see Aventura and Miami, and you can even see the water over there. It's crazy.
Right, you can see the water. I said, wait a minute, am I looking at the ocean? And this is, I said, you know, no, it really is. It's absolutely great. And it's funny when you talk about you started working at 13, because so did I.
Yeah, crazy, huh?
And some of the things that you explained, okay, I came from a little bit of a political family because I had an uncle of mine that started out a mayor of Hackensack, New Jersey.
Oh, wow.
Then they had what they called the freeholders, Bergen County freeholders. He was the freeholder director. Then he ran for state senate, okay? And then he moved to Florida here. When he retired, he moved into Boca Raton, okay? Right outside where the Boca Hotel was, okay? He was there. He had a condo on the other side. But it was so funny because when he was in Bergen County, when he was the freeholder director, President Nixon came in and made Hackensack one of his campaign stops. But the reason why he did was because it was always New York and California that were #1 in the school systems, okay, as far as their programs. And all of a sudden, here's Hackensack, New Jersey, and especially our high school, comes up #3.
Oh, wow.
And President Nixon says, wait a minute, from #20 to #3, he says, what are they doing there? He said, so besides campaign stop, he said, I have to find out what they're doing. So President Nixon comes and, 3 days with the Secret Service running around.
Yes.
It's like you were afraid to go to lunch because everybody was like this, all right? And I always say, I think that was one of the distinct pleasure of things that I remember, because I was in the a cappella choir and they asked me to sing the national anthem that night.
Oh, wow.
Now I'm singing the national anthem for President Nixon.
That's
And I got all these celebrities in the audience. I'm like, when I got done, and then to have the President of the United States come up to you and say, oh my God, he says, what a God-given voice. And, I'm like, you choking up? Here you are, the 16-year-old kid, joke. But it was a highlight, okay?
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah, to sing for President Nixon. And then many years later, when Al and I got married, he had the distinct pleasure of driving for President Clinton in his motorcade twice.
Oh.
Okay, he drove the International Press and the Associated Press. Okay, and he was actually awarded for doing that.
That's
so
amazing.
yeah. So when you talk about the political stream, I said, yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, we have a lot in common.
Yeah, a lot in common, and I've been on both sides. And I tell people, I said, I'm probably one of the biggest bipartisan people you'll ever want to meet.
Yeah.
I said, everybody, I don't care who sits in what chair.
Right.
As long as you do the right thing for the people and the constituents that you have. And those are not easy jobs. I mean, Mayor Trantellis was telling me, you know what? He said, I love what I'm doing. He says, but I'll be honest, I'm glad this is my last go-around. He wants to go back to doing his law firm and things like that, because it is a tough job. Okay?
You can't please everybody.
No, you can't please everybody. And I remembered something that Morgan Freeman said, just because we disagree does not mean you're my enemy.
Right.
And so many people today take that. If you disagree with someone, no. I mean, that's what life is all about. I tell people, if you don't think I disagree with Al on a daily basis, we fight like a cat and a dog. But there's things we do agree on.
Right.
But that's what makes the world go round.
Exactly.
Okay?
Yeah.
I mean, today, if you don't agree with somebody, somebody's got a gun hiding under the car somewhere. It's not the way to go.
No, not at all. But the growth of the city, I really like. I think it's great,
Oh, the growth of that city is unbelievable. When they had the Copacabana here, and that was 11 years ago.
Yeah.
When Charles Schiavetti, who's one of the owners of the Copacabana up in New York, and he had ran the Copa here, when he came down here 2 years ago, and he went to, because it was on Andrews Avenue, and I think they have that other club there, and he said we were 11 years too early. Because had the Copacabana been here now, they would have been a huge success.
Yeah, and but do they do something similar to Tower Club too? I think that you told me, or was it a membership type thing, or no?
The Copacabana, no.
No, it wasn't, huh?
No, it wasn't a membership thing. I don't even think it was in New York, but when they first opened up, you could not get into the Copacabana.
Oh.
Everybody here knew that name. Of course, when New York City, it had the greatest talent, when it had Sinatra and Dean Martin and all of that. And a lot of people think, oh, well, the Copacabana, it's only Latin entertainment. I said, no, it's not Latin entertainment. It's everything, all right? But when they first opened up, you could not get into the Copacabana. In fact, that year, we actually did, when they were here in Fort Lauderdale, I did my pageant at the Copacabana.
Oh.
And it was great. I mean, it was packed that night.
Yeah.
Standing room only, all right? But unfortunately, Charles had to go back to New York, and that's when Hurricane Sandy hit up there.
Oh.
And he couldn't get back. And they had a couple of people run it, and they kind of mismanaged it. And it opened up in September, and by January it was closed. and they tried to bring it back. They've been trying to bring it back for several years. So I called up Charles the other day. I said, I got an idea. He said, uh-oh, I'm in trouble. He said, I don't want to hear, nobody in Florida wants us to come back. I said, wait a minute. I said, the Tower Club. I mentioned the Tower Club.
Yeah.
I said, I'm it now, Charles, because I've always been his connection out here. I said, why don't we do a show? 𝐀𝐽 returns, one night only.
I would love to do that at the Tower Club.
Yeah.
Oh, I would love to do something like that.
I said, 𝐀𝐽 returns, one night only. In fact, David Luca, who was the house band for the 𝐀𝐽, still lives in Florida. I said, bring David Luca in there. I said, he's got a following. I said, and we probably, very good friend of mine, who, his father, okay, Sal Richards, was a big name comedian. He performed in Las Vegas and Atlantic City. In Port St. Lucie, they always have the big Italian festival. It's coming up in March. Well, his son, Sal Richards, is actually performing there with the father's 16-piece orchestra. When I saw that, I said, my mind started to click. I said, wait a minute. I said, 𝐀𝐽 returns? That's an act, because his father played the 𝐀𝐽 in New York City. So I said, Charles, if you're looking to do something, I said, sleep on it, let me know.
Yeah, no, we're always open to collaborating with our members, and we do have entertainment. Like every Friday, we have live music.
Right, have live music, yeah.
And then I go out to different events to see what we can bring into the club. Right. I went to a couple comedy shows to see like which one would like be a good fit. I met this one person, and her name's Amber. We might be bringing her into the club in a couple months so we can have a comedy show. I don't think we've ever done that before, but yeah, I'm open to different ideas, you know, to make it fun, interesting, new, fresh, you know.
Exactly. That would be absolutely fantastic. And that's what I'm telling people, like I told Melina. I said, if you want to do something, I said, before Salsa Fest, I said, do a show there. I said, I'm sure, I said, you know, she's great. She's performed for me for the pageant and everything. She is fantastic. She used to perform with Tito Puente Jr., okay? And they call her the Queen of Salsa. I mean, she's in demand. She's going up to Orlando this weekend. She's done shows in Doral. A lot of the auto companies have used her to promote their products.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So she's great. So I've got to tell my viewers, if you're really looking to boost your business, you need to join the Tower Club. I am telling you, it is unbelievable. Probably one of the best things I've done for 2025.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, I don't know where I was, but 2025, that's it.
Yeah, it's an amazing thing. It's great for connecting the community and the members with the members. A lot of people are moving from different cities into the club. They don't know anyone, and they're all C-suite entrepreneurs, so many different industries, and it's great, you know? So.
It is. And, you know, the thing about the Tower Club, like I said, you've got a lot of people from New York that are here. So it does remind them of that same ambiance or the energy that you get in New York City.
Right.
Okay? And, I mean, New York City is still great. I have to admit, it's not the same city it was in the 90s. Okay?
Right, I hear.
Yeah, it's, ever since the towers went down and COVID, the city has really lost something. I'm hoping that city, it's still great. You know, you say New York City when they light the tree during Christmas, but I'm hoping it eventually will come back to the way it was from 1990 to almost 2000. That city was absolutely amazing. You could not move in that city.
Yeah.
Businesses on top of businesses were there.
Right. Yeah, it was thriving, and the city that doesn't sleep, it probably still is, but.
Exactly. It still doesn't sleep, but I think, you know, it's had a rough time, New York City, you know.
Of course, yeah.
And of course, if anything is going to get hit, it's always the big cities like California. Look what just happened in there, right?
The devastation. It's so sad. I know.
Oh, that devastation. I mean, I'm sure California will come back, but unfortunately right now there's a lot of rebuilding that has to be done there.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
And they were even talking about now they think this could have been sabotaged. That was something that came up this morning on the news. Whatever it is, I'm sure they're going to get to the bottom of it, but it's going to take a lot to really rebuild that city. You know, there's still a lot of good things that are still standing, but it's just that, look at all the movie stars that lost that home.
I know. I heard Paris Hilton, Kim Kardashian,
Yes.
a lot of actors. Yeah, because it hit like that Malibu and like all those
Malibu,
beautiful homes, and yeah, that's a lot of.
Billy Crystal said him and his wife had that home for 46 years. All the memories are gone. They raised their children there, their grandchildren, their great-grandchildren. And you know, those memories you can't get back.
Right.
I mean, they were implanted in your head, but pictures and things like that, you can't get that back.
Yeah. That's crazy. I keep seeing the Hollywood sign being on fire. Is that true, or is that just?
I think there was smoke. I think there was smoke behind it.
Okay.
But hopefully that sign is not down.
I know. Oh my God, so sad.
Yeah, that is so sad. You know, and somebody had an idea. They said, well, being we have Hollywood, Florida, why don't we just put that sign up on 95? So I said,
bad idea.
Might work. I said, it definitely might work. I said, yeah, it'd be great. But, you know, I'm looking at this, and you've had a role as a TV host and associate producer.
Of the Dining Divas.
And the Dining Divas, okay.
Yeah, the Dining Diva, it's great. It's so it's food, fashion, and then so we uplift women. So it's a little bit of a women empowerment aspect to it. And when Christine brought me on, she told me all about it, and I was like, you know, I'll be interested in doing this.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, you know, through the Tower Club, I make a lot of relationships with the community and different entrepreneurs and people who would want to be showcased on the television show. So it's a great combination of like basically helping my members have exposure for their companies, and then helping Christine build her brand. And then there's even a Diva network where you know, other people can have their own shows on our network now. So it's just growing, and yeah, it's just a great thing.
Exactly.
I'm happy about it. Yeah.
I've got Max is sitting over there. Max, we have to go up to the Tower Club and do a show on Friday. Yes, he's saying absolutely. Yeah, we could bring the whole setup.
I would love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, because we have the A1A, like all the views, it's 360-degree views as you've seen during the day. Like if you came in the morning on Mondays, I wouldn't have a problem with it. And then you can see all A1A and like all the ocean. And it's pretty.
We normally do it on Friday, but I know the Town Club's on Friday, so we got to, Max, we got to make an exception. We got to do it on a Monday.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, see, he says done. Yeah, that would be great because, like you said, you could see all of Fort Lauderdale, and we could interview a few people.
Yeah, like members of the I could offer it to them, you know, as an added benefit, something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We could take one Monday and just, you know, set up and interview people. That would be great, and I'm sure our viewers at home would love something like that.
100%.
So, and, you know, it's so funny you talk about women's empowerment. Last week on our show, we had Dr. Tracy Campbell.
Oh, nice.
And Tracy is the owner of the Mrs. Globe organization, Mrs. Globe pageant organization. But she also has a company called the WIN Foundation, which is Women in Need.
Oh, okay.
And she has put a lot of money into women that have come from domestic violence, women that have been homeless, children that have been homeless. And she's another person that's all about women's empowerment.
Okay.
She goes around the world actually making speeches. Now, she is coming to Florida next month. She's going to be in Miami.
Okay.
So hopefully I can bring her and her husband up to the Tower Club, because that's how I actually started really getting my hands wet into the pageant industry. When she started the Mrs. Globe organization, she has Mrs. US Globe. I was, 1996, I was her Mrs. New Jersey.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Amazing.
And then I went out to nationals. I made the top 10 in nationals. And then I was her director for about 6 years up in New Jersey. I started directing New Jersey, then I had New York, then I had almost the East Coast. When I came down to Florida, they had another director. So, and then that's when I started doing my own thing. But she has been a fabulous mentor to me from that time until even recently. And I always tell people this, and I mentioned it on my show last week. When she introduced me, she has an award show called the Mrs. US Globe Awards. And she brought me on because she knew I was a singer. She introduced me there. I have to admit, my career went through the roof. And at that time, I was signed with the William Morris Agency in New York. She did more for me than the William Morris Agency ever did.
Huh.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
When I sang for her, I got offers to sing in Las Vegas. I got offers to sing in Atlantic City. I went to Greece with them. I was on a TV show in Greece. And then the biggest thing that I got from there was Phantom of the Opera.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah, I was the understudy in New York, and when Sarah Bryan did not want to do the tour, okay, because she had done Phantom for 5 years. I mean, she had done matinees, she had done everything, and she didn't want to take the tour. I jumped on it. I said, well, wait a minute, this is an excellent opportunity. And I did, in 1998, I did the East Coast tour. It was amazing. We went from Maine right straight down to Florida. Unfortunately, the band leader passed away, and that was the end of the tour. But that was such a highlight of my career. And it was all due to her, because she believed in women's empowerment.
I love that. No, I would love to meet her and see how I can help. You know, I'm part of a bunch of charities in the community of Fort Lauderdale as well. Royal Dames of Cancer Research.
They are fabulous.
Yes, yes. I have a brand new idea. The luncheon is coming up. I'm going to invite you.
Yes.
I believe it's in March, but I'll give you the details.
Yes, definitely.
Would love to do something with you and like your company and.
Well, we do a different charity every year. Now, this past year with the pageant was with the girls, we do something which is called the Pageant Planet People's Choice Awards. They're up on Pageant Planet, and people can go in there. It's $1 a vote, and they can vote for their who they like. And 2 years ago, we raised over $15,000.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we did Global Citizen. Last year, we raised almost $10,000. We did St. Jude's. So every year, we pick a different charity. So
maybe this year you can be our. You know?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, and we actually, so the last 2 years I kind of co-chaired and helped with the luncheons, right? So 2024, we did it at the Tower Club the last 2 years. So last year we raised $150,000 just at the luncheon, which was great. And then the year before, $80,000. But that's just, so we usually do 2 luncheons and a tiara ball at the end of the year.
Oh, I love it.
Love the tiara. Didn't you come to the tiara ball?
No, one of them I came to, yes. So I gotta get back into the swing of things. But anyway, we've got about 4 minutes left, so what would you like to tell our viewers?
Okay, I'll keep it short and sweet. So Tower Club Fort Lauderdale is a business and social club in the middle of Fort Lauderdale, right off of Las Olas. What we do is we create opportunities for our members to connect. We have 800 members in our location. We have over 300 clubs nationwide. There's yacht clubs, country clubs, university clubs, and city clubs, basically in all cities. Chicago, LA, San Diego, Orlando, Tampa, Dallas, Houston, Buckhead, Atlanta, Philadelphia, DC, Vegas. Those are the ones that I remember. But basically, right? So basically every single city. So there's opportunities throughout all of the U.S. to make connections with all like-minded individuals in the business of that city, basically. So once you're a member of the Tower Club, you have access to all the other clubs. So
Yes.
yeah, your net worth is your network. So this is a great membership to have. And Dining Divas TV, tune in.
Yes, Dining Divas TV, tune in. I love that show. But Kelly, it was such a pleasure to have you here today. And to all our viewers out there, yes, you always have my information. And whether you're here or whether you're in different parts of the country, this is something you may want to take advantage of belonging to the Tower Club. It definitely will boost your career. It's not just here, but it's global as well, too.
Yes.
So we want to thank all our viewers once again for tuning in to Make Our World Your Runway. And like I say, this is the weekly show. You see it. We've got some fascinating people here. And next week, stay tuned, because we are definitely going to have another fantastic guest. And also, we will keep you informed when we go to the Tower Club Live to do a show there. So thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Have a great weekend.
See you. Thank you so much.